Hey everyone, my name is Susan. I am 26 years old, and I am from America. Just 5 months ago, I could not speak even a simple full sentence in English. Not even something basic like, "How are you?" without thinking too much. I was completely lost and confused. But today, I want to share how I learned English in just 5 months without taking any expensive classes, without going to an English-speaking country, and without wasting my time on methods that don't actually work. And this is not only my story. This can become your story too. Because if you have ever felt frustrated, stuck, or embarrassed about your English, then you are exactly where I once was. And if you stay with me through this full journey, you will clearly understand how to improve your English step by step. So, let me take you back to the beginning, because my journey did not start with motivation. It actually started with a failure that changed my life completely. I always had a dream to work for an international company. I wanted to become a software engineer in a big tech company. I loved coding, and I was good at it, and I spent years working hard every single day to improve myself. And finally, after all that effort, I got a chance. I applied to a big company in the United States, and one day I received an email saying, "Congratulations, you have been selected for an interview." I was extremely happy. I started imagining my life in a new country, earning a great salary, and working with talented people. But then the interview day came. I joined the Zoom call, and there were 3 interviewers, all native English speakers. And as soon as they started talking, it felt like everything was too fast. I could not understand properly. And then they asked me the first question. "Susan, can you tell us about yourself and your experience in software development?" And at that moment, I panicked. I knew the answer in my mind, but I could not express it. My words were broken. I said something like, yes, I am software, I do coding, many projects, I am very good." And then there was silence, and that silence felt very uncomfortable. They asked another question, but I could not answer that either. And at the end, one of them politely said, "All right, Susan, thank you for your time." And I immediately understood what that meant. I had failed, not because I was not skilled, but because I could not communicate in English. And that moment hit me very hard. I felt ashamed. I felt angry at myself. Because for years, I had told myself that English was not important, and that my skills alone would be enough. But that day, I realized the truth. Without English, I was invisible. So that night, I made a strong decision. I would learn English, and I would learn it fast. Most people, when they start, they go for expensive courses. But I did not do that, because I had already tried that before. A year earlier, I had paid for an online course where I memorized vocabulary, studied grammar rules, and did exercises. But after months, I still could not speak properly. So I knew I needed a different system, something practical, something real, and that is when I began my 5-month journey. At the beginning, I realized that my biggest mistake was thinking that I needed more vocabulary. I already knew many words, but I still could not speak. So for the first 15 days, I did not learn any new words. Instead, I focused on using the words I already knew. I created a list of simple sentences that I would use in daily life. And every morning, I repeated those sentences again and again, many times, until they became natural. At first, it felt slow and uncomfortable. But after a few days, it became automatic. And then I started speaking to myself in English every single day. Whenever I was alone, I described what I was doing, and slowly my brain started adjusting. I practiced sentences from movies, repeated them, improved my pronunciation, and after some time, I stopped translating in my head. I started thinking in English. I practiced daily, spoke for hours, improved step by step, and finally, after 5 months, I became confident. I applied again for the same job, and this time I succeeded. I got the job, and I realized that everything changed because I did not give up. And the biggest lesson is, you don't need expensive classes. You just need consistency, confidence, and daily practice. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Enjoy English Talks, where every conversation helps you learn. I'm Miss Sweetie. Hello, Miss Sweetie. Hello everyone, I'm Sujan Khan. How are you today, Miss Sweetie? I am very happy today, Sujan Khan. I had a wonderful morning. Oh, what made it wonderful? I woke up early. I had my coffee by the window. The sun was out. Very peaceful. Ah, the sun. I love sunny mornings. But I did not wake up early today. No? Why not? The alarm rang. I pressed snooze. Snooze. Do you know this word, everyone? Snooze means you stop the alarm for 5 more minutes. You go back to sleep. 5 more minutes, then 5 more minutes, then 5 more minutes. And then you are late. Yes, I was a little late today. Well, Sujan-kan, this is actually our topic today. Being late? No. Our topic is daily routines. Routines? What is a routine? A routine is the things you do every day in the same order. For example, I wake up, I make coffee, I open the window. Every day. That is my mo. After snooze, I get out of bed. Good. Get out of bed. I go to the bathroom, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. Perfect. Those are the basics. Yes. And after that, coffee. Of course, coffee is very important for you. Very, very important. I cannot talk before coffee. I believe you. I also love coffee. But I do one thing before coffee. Before coffee, what is more important than coffee? I open the window. Fresh air. Fresh air before coffee. You are very healthy, Miss Sweetie. I try. The fresh air wakes me up. For me, only coffee wakes me up. Nothing else. Different routines. Both are okay. Now, breakfast. Do you eat breakfast, Sujan-kan? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Breakfast is important. I know. When I have time, I eat toast. Good, quick and easy. I eat a bigger breakfast. Yogurt with fruit. That is healthy. I only have toast with butter. And what about after breakfast? You get ready? Yes, I take a shower. A very hot shower. Very hot? Very, very hot. Yes. I open my wardrobe. My wardrobe is where I keep my clothes. I look inside and I think, I have nothing to wear. You have many clothes. I know, but nothing looks right in the morning. I try one shirt. No. I try another. No. How long does this take? Maybe 15 minutes. Maybe 20. 20 minutes just for clothes? Yes. I have a solution, Sujan-kan. Please tell me. Choose your clothes the night before. Before you sleep, you pick your outfit for tomorrow. In the morning, no thinking, just put them on. That is very smart. It saves a lot of time and stress. I will try this tonight. Good. Now you are dressed. Time to go to work. How do you commute? Commute means travel from home to work every day. Oh, I take the bus. Is it crowded? Very crowded. Many people. What do you do on the bus? I listen to music or a podcast. A podcast? Like Enjoy English Talks? Yes. I commute by walking. You walk every day? Yes, about 20 minutes. We arrive at work. What is the first thing you do? I make a coffee. Another coffee? Yes. Then I check my emails and start my tasks. Me too. At lunchtime, do you bring food or buy? I buy. Because no time? Yes. I bring my lunch from home. You prepare at night again? Yes. Clothes and lunch. You are very organized, Miss Sweetie. At 3 o'clock, I feel sleepy. That is normal. What do you do? I drink coffee again and eat a snack. A snack is a small amount of food. I eat biscuits or banana. I eat apple or nuts. Healthy again. I also drink green tea. No more coffee? No more coffee. After work, I feel tired. Me too. At home, I change clothes. Comfortable clothes are best. Then I sit quietly. Then dinner. Do you cook? I try. One time I made pasta with too much salt. Another time, pasta was too soft. Pasta soup. Yes. Now I cook simple food or order. I like cooking. It is relaxing. Chopping vegetables and listening to music. Chopping means cutting food. After dinner, I watch series. Comedy is my favorite. I also read before bed. I sleep at 10 o'clock. I sleep at midnight. Do you use your phone before bed? Yes, that is not good. Blue light wakes your brain. Try no phone before sleep. I will try. Morning person or evening person? I am evening person. I am morning person. Both are normal. Make a routine that works for you. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share. Comment. Are you a morning person or evening person? See you next time. Music. Welcome to Easy English Talks podcast. Welcome to your most effective English speaking practice podcast. This immersive shadowing session is designed to train your mouth, brain, and confidence by having you actively repeat 330 essential sentences used by native speakers daily. We'll progress through 3 levels, from foundational phrases to advanced expressions, ensuring you build your skills from the ground up. Get ready to speak, learn, and transform your conversational English. Let's begin. Today, we're going to practice 330 daily life conversation English sentences. Shadowing practice. These are sentences that native speakers use all the time, at the coffee shop, at work, at school, everywhere. I've split them into 3 easy parts. Part 1 has 110 easy sentences. Part 2 has 110 normal sentences. Part 3 has 110 hard sentences. And here's how this will help you. When you say the words with me, your mouth learns the movements. Your brain learns to think in English quickly. Your confidence gets better with every sentence. By the end of this, English will feel easier to speak. But I have one simple request. Please don't skip any part. Every part matters. If you do all 330 sentences, you'll see results. Now get ready. Find a quiet place. Speak out loud. Focus fully. Are you ready? Let's start part 1. Wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I take a shower. I get dressed quickly. I make my bed. I drink coffee every morning. I eat breakfast at home. I check my phone. I read the news. I leave for work. I drive to the office. I take the bus. I walk to school. The weather is nice today. It's raining outside. I forgot my umbrella. I need to buy groceries. The store is closed. I'm feeling tired. I slept well last night. What time is it? It's almost noon. I'm running late. Can you help me? Sure, no problem. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Excuse me, please. I'm sorry about that. Don't worry about it. I have a question. Where is the bathroom? It's down the hall. Turn left here. Go straight ahead. I'm looking for my keys. Did you see my phone? It's on the table. I found it, thanks. I'm so hungry right now. What's for lunch? I want pizza today. Let's order some food. I prefer coffee over tea. This tastes really good. I don't like spicy food. Can I have some water? The food is getting cold. I'm full now. That was delicious. I need to rest. I'm taking a break. Let's meet tomorrow. What are you doing tonight? I'm staying home. Do you want to come? I'll think about it. Call me later. I'll text you. See you soon. How was your day? It was pretty good. Nothing special happened. I had a busy day. I'm so tired today. I need more sleep. The movie was boring. I loved that book. Have you seen this show? I'm watching Netflix. The music is too loud. Can you turn it down? I like this song. My favorite color is blue. I have 2 brothers. My sister is younger. Live in an apartment. My house is small. I love my neighborhood. The traffic is terrible. I hate waiting in line. This is taking forever. I'm almost done. Just 1 more minute. I need to hurry up. We're going to be late. Calm down. We have time. Now part 2 begins. I'm planning to visit my parents this weekend. Have you finished your homework yet? I've been working on this project for weeks. She always arrives on time for meetings. I'm thinking about changing my job. Could you please pass me the salt? I appreciate everything you've done for me. The deadline is coming up really fast. I need to prepare for tomorrow's presentation. He's been studying English for 3 years. I'm getting used to the new system. That restaurant is worth trying out. I've never been to that part of town. We should leave before rush hour. I'm trying to save money for vacation. She reminds me of someone I used to know. I can't figure this out. Would you mind closing the window? I'm looking forward to the weekend. They've decided to postpone the meeting. I haven't heard from him in ages. This situation is getting complicated. I'm supposed to pick up my kids at 5. The instructions are a bit confusing. I recommend checking the weather forecast. She's always complaining about something. I'm considering taking a course online. We had to cancel our plans last minute. I'm not comfortable with that idea. He tends to exaggerate sometimes. I have been thinking about this problem for many weeks. The company's money is going up and down. I am very tired because I had many meetings. She can explain difficult things in an easy way. This project will succeed only if we get enough money. I am trying to improve my work habits, His idea sounded good, but it was not perfect. This decision will affect many people. I am not sure if this plan will work. She stays calm even in stressful situations. This new situation needs new ideas. I am thinking about studying in another country. The discussion has reached an important moment. His behavior shows he is hiding something. I am trying to balance work and personal life. The data supports our first idea. She is famous for being very careful. The new rules will harm weak people. I support a clear and honest decision process. He has strong knowledge in this field. The company is making big changes. I believe his statement is true. This situation is more difficult than we thought. She has natural leadership skills. The evidence proves what people said. I am worried about the result of this investment. His thinking is practical and simple. I am trying to handle many tasks at once. This plan does not have enough proof. Leonardo da Vinci. The moment we hear this name, images of peaceful and beautiful paintings like the Mona Lisa or the Last Supper appear in our minds. Most people think he was only a painter who spent his life playing with colors and brushes. People believe his life revolved around art and fame. Inji, in the 15th century, was far darker and more terrifying than anyone could imagine. For him, art was not just beauty or a hobby. It was a weapon to cut open the cruel and naked truth of nature itself. At a time when the entire world blindly believed in religion, churches, and miracles, this man became so obsessed with truth that he wandered into graveyards at midnight and pulled out rotting corpses. He dissected dead bodies with his own hands just to see the real machinery of human veins, beating hearts, and bones. Lonely man whose mind was running centuries ahead of his time. He designed flying machines, drew blueprints of terrifying weapons, and looked at the world with mysterious eyes where humans, nature, and machines were all connected together. The thousands of pages in his notebooks, written in strange mirror writing, were proof of the storms and loneliness inside his mind. In this video, we will descend into the dark, isolated, and obsessive journey of Leonardo da Vinci. Prepare yourself, because today you will face the madness. Hidden behind the calm image of a painter, a madness that will completely destroy every illusion you have about art and science. Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452, near a small hill town called Vinci in the Tuscany region of Italy. His father, Piero, was a successful legal official and landowner, while his mother, Caterina, was a simple peasant woman. Leonardo's parents were never married. In Italian society at that time, children born outside marriage faced many social and legal restrictions. This deeply shaped Leonardo's life. If he had been a legitimate child, society would have forced him into his list. Father's profession. He would have received a traditional education in Latin and Greek and been sent to university. But because of his status, Leonardo never received that formal education. Historian Walter Isaacson explains in his books that this lack of education became Leonardo's greatest blessing. Since he was never trapped by ancient books or old scholars, he refused to blindly believe anything. Instead of books, he made nature his greatest teacher. From childhood, he carefully observed the hills, rivers, stones, and animals around Vinci. He believed real knowledge was not hidden inside dusty pages, but in directly observing the world with your own eyes. When Leonardo was around 14 years old, his father took him to Florence around 1466. Florence was one of the biggest centers of art and trade in Italy. There, his father sent him to work in the workshop of Andrea del Verrocchio, one of the most famous artists of the time. Verrocchio's workshop was not just a painting studio. It was like a modern factory where many skills were taught together. Leonardo learned chemistry, metalworking, woodworking, and geometry alongside painting. He learned how colors were created, by grinding minerals and stones into powders. It was here that Leonardo understood something revolutionary. Art and science were not separate things. To draw something correctly, you first had to understand how it truly worked from the inside. During his time there, he mastered oil painting, a technique far more advanced than the egg-based paints used by most artists. Oil paints dried slowly, giving artists time to blend colors naturally and make endless corrections. Leonardo studied this technique so deeply that he eventually surpassed even his teacher. Leonardo's entire philosophy was built around a simple but powerful idea called saper vedere, which means knowing how to see. He believed the human eye was the most important tool for understanding the universe. He never accepted information without testing it himself. If an old book claimed that water flowed in a certain way, Leonardo would not trust it blindly. He would stand beside rivers for hours, dropping pieces of wood into the current and carefully observing how whirlpools formed and how water curved around obstacles. He connected the movement of water with the twisting of human hair, realizing that nature repeated the same patterns everywhere. After years in Florence, Leonardo made a major decision in 1482. At the age of 30, he left Florence and moved to Milan. He no longer wanted to remain just a painter. He wanted to transform his engineering and scientific ideas into reality. Milan was ruled by Ludovico Sforza, and Leonardo wrote him one of the most famous letters in history. In that letter, Leonardo barely mentioned painting. Instead, he introduced himself as a military engineer. He promised he could build portable cannons, redirect rivers, and create armored vehicles capable of surviving enemy attacks. His designs for armored wagons looked shockingly similar to modern tanks. Ludovico hired Leonardo, and for the next 17 years, Leonardo lived in Milan. During this period, he began deeply studying human anatomy. At the time, dissecting human bodies was considered controversial and even sinful by many religious authorities. But Leonardo believed that if an artist wanted to paint the human body truthfully, he had to understand what existed beneath the skin. He began dissecting corpses in hospitals. He treated the human body like a complex machine. Historian Martin Kemp explains that Leonardo viewed bones as levers and muscles as ropes pulling those. He cut open skulls to draw detailed images of the brain and nervous system. He studied how the eyes connected to the brain through nerves. His studies of the human heart were astonishingly accurate. His drawings of heart valves opening and closing are still considered scientifically correct today. Using glass tubes, he experimented with blood flow. This was no longer the work of a simple painter. It was the work of a true scientist trying to uncover the hidden mechanics of nature itself. Alongside anatomy, Leonardo developed two revolutionary painting techniques. The first was called chiaroscuro, the dramatic use of light and shadow. Leonardo realized that when light hits a round object, brightness slowly fades into darkness instead of ending with a hard line. Carefully recreating these shadows mathematically, he made flat paintings appear three-dimensional and lifelike. He used geometry to calculate how light would strike surfaces and how shadows would stretch across objects. His second technique became even more legendary: sfumato. Sfumato means blending colors so smoothly that all sharp edges disappear. Most artists of that era outlined objects with clear, dark lines, but Leonardo observed that in real life, no. Object has hard outlines. Colors softly melt into one another. So he blended tones delicately, creating paintings that looked soft, alive, and natural. During his years in Milan, Ludovico Sforza commissioned Leonardo to paint a mural. Inside the dining hall of the Santa Maria della Grazia Church, this masterpiece became known as the Last Supper. Leonardo spent years preparing it. He walked through the streets of Milan, studying ordinary people's faces, observing how muscles moved during emotions like fear, anger, and shock. He sketched these expressions in notebooks and later used them in the painting. Leonardo also used precise mathematical perspective. Every line in the room pointed directly toward Christ's head, forcing the viewer's attention toward Jesus. Leonardo experimented with a new painting method on a dry wall, instead of traditional wet plaster. Unfortunately, the chemical mixture failed, and the painting began deteriorating within decades. Yet, the emotional realism of The Last Supper changed the entire direction of Western art forever. Leonardo's notebooks remain one of the greatest treasures in history. He filled thousands of pages with sketches, inventions, scientific observations, and random notes. The strangest part was that he wrote backwards, from right to left, in mirror writing. His words could only be easily read through a mirror. Believe this was not done to hide secrets. Leonardo was left-handed, and since ink dried slowly, writing backwards prevented his hand from smearing fresh ink. His notebooks had no order on the same page. He might draw the human heart, design a water machine, and write a grocery list. His mind constantly moved between different worlds. He believed everything in nature was connected. Leonardo became obsessed with flight. He studied birds and bats for hours, trying to understand how wings pushed air downward to lift bodies upward. He designed machines for human flight, including spiral-shaped devices similar to modern helicopters. Most of his inventions were impossible to build during his lifetime because there were no engines powerful enough. Yet his designs proved that his imagination was centuries ahead of his age. In 1499, French forces invaded Milan, forcing Leonardo to flee. After traveling through Mantua and Venice, he eventually returned to Florence around 1500. By then, Florence had changed. A new generation of artists had emerged. But Leonardo was no longer seen as just a painter. He was respected as a master of science, mathematics, and engineering. In 1502, Leonardo began working for the dangerous military leader Cesare Borgia as his chief engineer. During this time, Leonardo revolutionized mapmaking. Traditional maps were drawn from ground level, showing buildings from the front, but Leonardo created an overhead map of the city of Imola, using geometry and measurements, almost like a modern satellite image. It was incredibly accurate and helped Borgia's armies navigate cities with precision. Around 1503, Leonardo started painting what would become the most famous portrait in human history, the Mona Lisa. To Leonardo, this painting was not just a commission. It was the ultimate summary of his life's knowledge. He kept the painting with him until his death, constantly refining it. The mystery of Mona Lisa's smile came directly from Leonardo's anatomical studies. He dissected human faces to understand every muscle involved in smiling. He mapped the nerves connecting the lips to the brain. He combined this scientific knowledge with his understanding of light and human vision. Leonardo discovered that the edges of human sight detect shadows better than sharp lines. So he painted subtle shadows around Mona Lisa's lips without drawing clear outlines. When viewers look at her eyes, their peripheral vision catches those shadows, making the smile appear alive. But when they stare directly at her lips, the smile fades. It was not magic. It was pure science hidden inside art. Leonardo layered dozens of transparent paint glazes onto the Mona Lisa, each layer taking months to dry. This technique created the illusion that light was glowing from beneath her skin. The background landscape also reflected Leonardo's philosophy. He believed the human body and the earth followed the same laws. Mountains were like bones, rivers were like veins, and the planet itself was a living organism. Around 1504, Leonardo met a man over 100 years old in a Florentine hospital. The man claimed he suffered from no illness, only weakness. Hours later, he died peacefully. Leonardo became obsessed with understanding how a healthy body could simply stop living. He dissected the man's body and discovered that old age itself changes the blood vessels and organs. His observations were centuries ahead of medical science. Hello, guys. Today I have brought you one of the craziest and darkest histories ever told on FB. If you truly listen to this story, it will completely blow your mind. I hope you stay till the end, because what you are about to hear is not just the story of a painter. It is the story of a man whose mind was centuries ahead of humanity itself.
Hello, my name is Sweetie, and today I have brought a powerful story that will force you to move forward in your future. I hope all of you will listen carefully till the end, because this is not just a normal motivational story. This is a life-changing journey that can turn a weak mindset into a powerful one. Many people say I am helpless because of my habits. I cannot stop using my phone late at night. I always waste my time. But let me tell you something very important. In the same way people become slaves to bad habits, they can also become addicted to good habits. And believe me, good habits can give you success, respect, confidence, money, peace, and a powerful future. Today we will talk about 15 super successful habits that can turn a person from zero to hero. These habits can help you achieve everything you dream about in life. Do not listen to this story like ordinary entertainment. Listen to it like a warrior preparing for battle. Write these habits somewhere and slowly start bringing them into your life. These habits will not only make you successful, but they will also make you such a good human being that people will say, I want to become like that person. The first super successful habit is waking up early in the morning. Every successful person in the world follows this habit. The moment the alarm rings, get up from the bed immediately. Do not negotiate with your dreams. If you can defeat your bed early in the morning, then no challenge during the day will be strong enough to defeat you. Waking up early shows your willpower and your control over your life. It gives you extra time, extra focus, extra energy, and extra opportunities. Successful people understand that mornings are full. If you are addicted to waking up late, then slowly start improving. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier every day. Step by step, your life will start changing. The second super habit is always learning something new for your goal. Successful person keeps learning. Whether it is a cricketer, actor, businessman, or leader, they all remain students forever. Never think that you know everything. Even one new line of knowledge can completely change your future. Knowledge in this world. If you want to become successful in any field, then stay curious about that field. Read books, watch educational videos, ask questions, and learn from your mistakes. Maybe one small thing you learn today can give you success. Beyond your imagination tomorrow. To grow in life, you must always remain a student. The third super habit is speak less and listen more. God gave human beings 2 ears and 1 mouth because listening is more important than speaking. People who listen carefully always learn something extra. Speaking less saves your energy and keeps you away from unnecessary problems. When a person speaks less, his thinking becomes deeper and more powerful. A calm mind can create powerful ideas. People who talk too much often lose respect, but people who listen carefully gain wisdom. Learn to observe, understand, and think before speaking. The fourth super habit is learning to do. Disagree and say no. You are not a puppet created to say yes to everyone. Your dreams are different, your journey is different, and your purpose is different. If something is not good for your future, then say no without fear. If your friends are wasting time and you want to focus on your goals, then say no. If people are forcing you into a career you do not want, then stand for yourself. Saying no may upset some people temporarily, but it will protect your future forever. Cannot say no becomes a slave to other people's expectations. The fifth super habit is learning how to take risks. The biggest risk in life is never taking risks. If you keep avoiding risks, then you are risking your entire future. Destroys more dreams than failure itself. People worry too much about what society will say. What if money gets wasted? What if time gets wasted? But listen carefully. Human beings only truly need food, clothes, and shelter to survive. Everything else is extra. So why live your entire life in fear? A warrior does not die with regret. A warrior fights challenges and creates history. One day when you grow old and look back at your life, you should feel proud that you tried. You may regret taking risks sometimes, but you will regret not taking risks for your entire life. The sixth super habit is understanding yourself. The person you spend your entire life with is yourself, but many people spend more time understanding others than understanding their own mind. Sit alone quietly for at least 10 minutes every day. No phone, no music, no distractions, no people. Just you and your thoughts. Ask yourself honestly, what do I really want from life? What is hurting me? What makes me happy? What are my strengths and weaknesses? Only you can fully understand your feelings and your struggles. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful weapons in life. Super habit is learning to make decisions and taking action immediately. Many people spend years confused. They cannot decide what career they want, what relationship they should stay in, or what dream they should follow. Listen carefully. Making the wrong decision is still better than making no decision. Successful people take decisions quickly and start working immediately. Time between their decision and their action is almost zero. If you make a plan at 11 p.m., then your actions should start supporting that plan at 11:01 p.m. Dreams only become reality when action begins. The eighth super habit is respecting time. Time is the only thing in life that never stops. Every second of your life is disappearing forever. Money can return, opportunities can return, but time never returns. Every human being has an invisible countdown running from birth. So stop wasting your life sleeping too much, scrolling endlessly, and delaying your dreams. Learn to move with time. Focus on what truly matters today, because one day, this life will end. Respecting time means respecting your own future. The ninth super habit is removing unnecessary distractions from your life. How many useless notifications enter your phone every day? How much useless content steals your attention? If something is not helping your future, remove it. Delete useless apps. Leave negative groups. Stop wasting time in meaningless gossip. If you truly want concentration, then distractions must leave your life. Every successful person protects their focus like treasure. Your dreams require attention, discipline, and silence. The 10th super habit is earning money, saving money, and investing money wisely. Many people buy things emotionally and regret it later. Look around your room and notice how many useless things you purchased out of excitement. Before buying anything unnecessary, stop and ask yourself if you really need it. Money is hard-earned energy. Save it carefully and invest it smartly. Learn how money works. The smartest financial plan is simple. Earn money, save money, invest money, and use profits wisely. People who respect money build freedom for themselves and their families. The 11th super habit is staying away from negative people and staying close to positive people. Your environment shapes your thinking. If the people around you constantly complain, criticize, and spread negativity, then your energy will slowly die. Negative people are unhappy everywhere, and they make others unhappy too. Your peace. Stay close to people who inspire you, support your growth, and believe in dreams. Most importantly, stop speaking negatively to yourself. Never say, "My luck is bad," or "I can never succeed." Successful people always believed in themselves, even when nobody else did. The 12th super habit is writing down your ideas and plans. Whenever an idea comes into your mind, note it immediately. Keep a diary or use a notes app on your phone. Write your goals, your dreams, your future plans, your weaknesses, and the changes you want in your life. Many powerful opportunities disappear simply because people forget their ideas. Writing makes your dreams feel real. A written goal becomes a mission. The 13th super habit is staying healthy and building a healthy lifestyle. Health is real wealth. Exercise daily, eat well, healthy food, meditate, practice yoga, and avoid harmful addictions like alcohol and smoking. A healthy body creates a powerful mind. When people fall sick, they finally realize how precious health truly is. Your dreams need energy, discipline, and strength. So protect your body because it is the vehicle carrying your future. The 14th super habit is always smiling and staying positive. Every person in this world is fighting hidden battles. Why spread more sadness? A smile gives hope. Staying positive does not mean pretending life is perfect. It means believing that no matter how difficult things become, you can still fight. Improve your life. Positive people shine differently. Their energy changes rooms, changes people, and changes situations. And now comes the 15th and most powerful super successful habit that every Indian should have. Become a responsible citizen. Real success is not only about money or fame. Real success is helping others and making your country proud. Respect your nation, help poor people, feed hungry people, throw garbage in dustbins, help elderly people, and spread kindness wherever you go. A truly successful human being is someone who improves the lives of others. Do something so meaningful that one day your country feels proud because of you. So, my friends, remember these 15 super successful habits. Wake up early, keep learning, speak less and listen more, learn to say no, take risks, understand yourself, make decisions quickly, respect time. Remove distractions. Save and invest money wisely. Stay away from negativity. Write your ideas. Stay healthy. Keep smiling. And become a responsible citizen. Your future is waiting for you. Are waiting for you. Success is waiting for you. The only question is, are you ready to change your habits and change your life? Thank you for listening. Jai Hind. Vande. Hello everyone. My name is Sweetie, and today I have brought you a powerful motivational story that can completely change the way you think about your future and success. This story will teach you how a person can rise from nothing and build a successful life just by changing their mindset and believing in themselves. So listen carefully till the very end, because this story may inspire you to move forward in life and achieve something great in the future. There is a famous saying that a person becomes as great as their thoughts. This is an eternal truth that has been proven again and again through the lives of successful people. In his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill said that whatever a person continues to think about eventually becomes the reality of their life. Do most people fail to become successful? Is it because they never truly think? Or because they never discover the hidden potential inside themselves? Today's story will answer all of these questions. Once upon a time, at a crowded railway station in a large city, there lived a beggar. Every single day, he survived by begging from passengers sitting inside the trains arriving at the station. That railway station had become his entire world. From morning till night, he moved from one train compartment to another, asking strangers for money so he could fill his empty stomach and survive another day. One day, while begging inside a train, the beggar noticed a wealthy businessman sitting near the window. The man was dressed in an expensive suit and looked rich, confident, and successful. Immediately thought, this man must be very wealthy. If I ask him for money, he will surely give me more than everyone else. The beggar quickly walked toward the businessman and stretched out his hand for alms. But instead of giving him money, the wealthy businessman looked directly into his eyes and asked, "Do you always ask people for things? Have you ever given anything to someone in return?" The beggar became confused and replied softly, "Sir, I am only a beggar. I survive by asking people for money. I don't have anything valuable that I could possibly give to others." The businessman calmly replied, "If you cannot give anything to others, then you also have no right to expect things from them. I am a businessman, and I believe in exchange. If you have something to offer me, then I can give you something in return. But if you have nothing to give, then I also cannot give you anything." After saying those words, the businessman boarded the train and left the station. Meanwhile, the beggar sat silently on the platform, deeply thinking about the businessman's words. He had spent his entire life begging from people, but no one had ever spoken to him like that before. The more he thought about those words, the more he realized that the businessman was not insulting him. In fact, he was speaking the truth. The beggar started thinking, if I cannot offer something to people, then how can I expect them to keep giving me money? Maybe this is the reason why people never truly value me. I only ask from them, but I never give anything back. For the very first time in his life, the beggar began questioning his own way of living. But another thought troubled him deeply. Am only a beggar. What can I possibly give to other people? Still, somewhere inside his heart, he felt that he could not continue living his entire life only taking from others without giving something in return. For the next 2 days, the beggar kept thinking about this question. During those 2 days, he barely begged from anyone because his mind was completely occupied with one thought. What can I give people? Then, on the 3rd day, while sitting at the station, he noticed several flower plants blooming beautifully near the other side of the platform. The colorful flowers immediately gave him an idea. What if, he thought, instead of only taking money from people, I give them a flower in return? That simple idea filled him with excitement and hope. He quickly plucked some flowers and carried them with him onto the train. That day, whenever someone gave him money, he handed them a flower in return. To his surprise, people smiled warmly while accepting the flowers. Even thanked him happily. From that day onward, the beggar started bringing fresh flowers every morning. Every passenger who gave him money received a flower in return. Slowly, something unexpected started happening. People began giving him more money than before. As long as he had flowers with him, passengers happily gave him money. But whenever his flowers finished, people stopped paying much attention to him. Day after day, the same thing continued. Then, one day, while moving through a train asking for alms, the beggar suddenly saw the same businessman sitting inside the compartment. the very man whose words had completely changed his thinking. The beggar immediately rushed toward him and said excitedly, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I will give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled and handed him some money. In return, the beggar gave him several flowers. The businessman became impressed by the beggar's intelligence and said, "Very good. Today, you have become a businessman just like me." After saying those words, the businessman stepped off the train and disappeared into the crowd. But once again, his words deeply shook the beggar's mind. "A businessman? Me?" he thought. The beggar kept repeating those words inside his head again and again. He thought deeply for a long time, and suddenly something powerful changed inside him. For the first time in his life, he realized that success might also be possible for him. Until now, he had always seen himself as nothing more than a poor beggar. But today, someone had called him a businessman. The beggar suddenly jumped off the train and shouted loudly toward the sky, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I can become rich too. I can become successful too." People standing around him stared at him as if he had gone mad, but they did not understand that something extraordinary had happened inside him. His identity had changed forever. And the moment a person changes the way they see themselves, their future also begins to change. The very next day, the beggar disappeared completely from the railway station. 6 months later, two well-dressed businessmen happened to meet again at the same railway station. Both of them were wearing expensive suits. They looked at each other and shook hands politely. The first man smiled and asked, "Do you recognize me?" The second man replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man laughed softly and said, "We have actually met twice before on this very train. I am the same beggar whom you once told what I needed to do in life. And during our second meeting, you told me who I really was." The businessman suddenly became shocked and surprised. "Wait, are you that same beggar? The same man whom I once refused to give money to? The same man from whom I bought flowers?" "Yes," the first man replied proudly. "I was that beggar. But today I am one of the biggest flower businessmen in the city. I am now traveling to another town because of my business." The businessman smiled with amazement. After a moment of silence, the former beggar continued speaking. "The lesson you taught me that day was actually one of the greatest laws of life. We receive only when we learn to give something in return. I understood that truth deeply, but even after understanding it, I still continued seeing myself as a beggar. I never imagined myself becoming anything greater." He paused for a moment and continued, "But during our second meeting, you called me a businessman." That one sentence completely changed my thinking. I suddenly realized that people were not giving me charity anymore. They were actually buying flowers from me. They were paying for value. My flowers were cheap, beautiful, and meaningful to them. Even though the world saw me as a small flower seller, inside my own mind I was still a beggar. Your words changed my life forever. With the money I had saved, I started buying more flowers. Then I slowly built a real flower business. Today, people love flowers, and their love has made me successful. After finishing their conversation, both men stepped off the train and walked toward. Life becomes what we believe about ourselves. If you think of yourself as weak, small, or helpless, then you will remain trapped in that reality forever. But if you recognize the hidden potential inside yourself, then one day you can achieve greatness beyond imagination. Never underestimate yourself. See yourself as capable, successful, powerful, and worthy. Because the moment you're thinking, your future also begins to change. If you enjoyed this inspirational story, make sure to like the video, share it with others, and comment below about what lesson this story taught you. Thank you for listening, and I will see you again very soon with another powerful motivational story. Hello, guys. My name is Sweetie. I am from America. Today, I have brought an emotional and unbelievable historical story for you. After listening to this story, your heart will feel peace and wonder. Today, we are going to learn some amazing facts and hidden truths about the world-famous Taj Mahal. So watch and listen carefully till the end, because this story of love, beauty, sacrifice, and history will completely change the way you see the Taj Mahal forever. When former American President Bill Clinton visited India and saw the Taj Mahal, he reportedly said that there are only two kinds of people in this world: those who have seen the Taj Mahal and those who have not. There are many beautiful buildings in the world, but none are like the Taj Mahal, because this monument was built by a king who poured his heart and soul into its foundation. Many tourists who visit the Taj Mahal do not know that what they usually see is actually the backside of the monument. The royal entrance of the Taj Mahal originally faced the riverside. During the Mughal period, the Yamuna River was the main route to reach the Taj Mahal. Kings and royal guests arrived by boat. There used to be a large riverside platform called a chabutra, but today it no longer exists. Many people believe that Emperor Shah Jahan cut off the hands of the workers who built the Taj Mahal. However, historians say there is no real evidence for this claim. Some believe that Shah Jahan instead gave lifetime salaries to the workers and made them sign agreements that they would never build another monument like the Taj Mahal again. The four minarets surrounding the Taj Mahal are not perfectly straight. They lean slightly outward. This was done intentionally so that if an earthquake ever occurred, the minarets would fall away from the main tomb and protect the central structure from damage. Many people think Qutub Minar is taller than the Taj Mahal, but the Taj Mahal is actually slightly taller. The Taj Mahal stands about 73 meters high, while Qutub Minar is around 72.5 meters tall. The Taj Mahal is also famous for having some of the most beautiful calligraphy in the world. At the grand entrance gate, inscriptions welcome visitors with words asking the soul to rest peacefully in the presence of God. These inscriptions were written in the Thuluth script. The master calligrapher Abdul Haq was brought from Iran for this work. Shah Jahan was so impressed by his artistic talent that he gave him the title Amanat Khan. The construction materials for the Taj Mahal were gathered from many parts of the world. White marble was brought from Makrana in Rajasthan. Jade and crystal came from China. Lapis lazuli arrived from Afghanistan. Jasper came from Punjab. Sapphire was brought from Sri Lanka, and carnelian stones came from Arabia. In total, 28 types of precious stones were used in the monument. More than 1,000 elephants were used to transport these materials to Agra. Construction of the Taj Mahal began in 1631 and was completed in 1653 after 22 years of hard work. Thousands of workers, artists, and craftsmen participated in building this masterpiece. Experts from many countries contributed their skills. Marble carvers came from Bukhara in Iran. Calligraphy artists also came from Iran. Stone sculptors were brought from Baluchistan. The decorative techniques used in the walls were inspired by Italian craftsmanship. During the revolt of 1857, British soldiers damaged parts of the Taj Mahal and removed many precious stones from its walls, including lapis lazuli and other valuable gems. The top part of the main dome was once made of gold. In the 19th century, the golden finial was replaced with a bronze one. Nobody knows exactly who designed the Taj Mahal. Historians believe that a group of 37 architects from different parts of the world worked together to create its final design. When the foundation of the Taj Mahal was being built, many deep wells were dug around the structure. These wells were filled with stone, bricks, ebony wood, and mahogany wood to strengthen the foundation. Foundation. These special woods become stronger when they absorb moisture. The nearby Yamuna River provided that moisture for centuries. But today, the water level of the Yamuna is decreasing, and because of this, cracks reportedly appeared in parts of the Taj Mahal around 2010. In 1989, an Indian writer named P.N. Oak published a book called Taj Mahal, The True Story. In the book, he claimed that the Taj Mahal was originally a Shiva temple called Tejo Mahalaya. In 2000, he even approached the Supreme Court of India, asking for excavation around the Taj Mahal to prove his theory. However, the court rejected the request. According to the Archaeological Survey of India, there is no evidence supporting the claim that the Taj Mahal was once a Shiva temple. Historical records clearly state that Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal. Another popular story says that Shah Jahan wanted to build a black Taj Mahal across the Yamuna River for himself using black marble. But historians say this story is most likely fictional because excavations found no evidence of such a structure. The design of the Taj Mahal is believed to have been inspired by Humayun's tomb. Humayun was Shah Jahan's great-aunt, grandfather, and his tomb influenced many Mughal architectural masterpieces in India. During World War II, the Indian government covered the Taj Mahal with bamboo scaffolding to hide it from enemy bombers, planes, and protect it from German and Japanese air attacks. Similar protective measures were also used during the India-Pakistan Wars of 1965 and 1971. Many buildings around the world were inspired by the Taj Mahal. One famous example in India is Bibi Ka Maqbara in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. It was built by Mughal Prince Azam Shah in memory of his mother Dilras Banu Begum. Although it looks similar to the Taj Mahal, its dome is smaller and much of the structure is made from plaster instead of marble. The Taj Mahal became most famous because of the emotional love story behind its construction. Emperor Shah Jahan built it in memory of his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Her real name was Arjuman Banu Begum. Shah Jahan gave her the title Mumtaz Mahal, meaning the most precious jewel of the palace. Mumtaz Mahal died at the age of 38 while giving birth to her 14th child in Burhanpur. Shah Jahan was heartbroken after her death. It felt as if his entire world had collapsed. In her memory, he ordered the construction of the Taj Mahal. At first, Mumtaz Mahal was buried in Burhanpur. Later, when the Taj Mahal was under construction, her body was moved to a garden near the construction site. For 22 years, her remains stayed there until the Taj Mahal was completed. She was finally buried beneath the main dome of the Taj Mahal. While Shah Jahan focused all his attention on building the Taj Mahal, his own son Aurangzeb attacked Agra and imprisoned him. When Shah Jahan was asked what he wanted during his imprisonment, he said he wished to stay in a place from where he could see the Taj Mahal directly. His wish was granted. During his final years, Shah Jahan spent his days looking at the Taj Mahal from his prison chamber. Eventually, he died there. After his death, he was buried beside Mumtaz Mahal inside the Taj Mahal itself. Today, the Taj Mahal is known across the world as the greatest symbol of love. Rabindranath Tagore once described the Taj Mahal as a tear on the cheek of time. Shah Jahan understood that wealth, power, and kingdoms would disappear one day. He wanted to create something eternal, something that would survive forever in memory of his beloved wife. Today, the king is gone, his empire is gone, but the Taj Mahal still stands proudly under the moonlight, telling the centuries-old story of love between two souls. For hundreds of years, it has continued sharing this emotional story with the world, and it will continue to do so for generations to come. If you enjoyed this beautiful historical story, then please like the video, share it with the person you love the most, and comment below with your thoughts about the Taj Mahal. Stay safe, stay happy, and I will see you again in the next video. Hello everyone, my name is Sweetie, and today I have brought you a powerful motivational story that can completely change the way you think about your future and success. This story will teach you how a person can rise from nothing and build a successful life just by changing their mindset and believing in themselves. So listen carefully till the very end, because this story may inspire you to move forward in life and achieve something great in the future. There is a famous saying that a person becomes as great as their thoughts. This is an eternal truth that has been proven again and again through the lives of successful people. In his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill said that whatever a person continues to think about eventually becomes the reality of their life. Do most people fail to become successful? Is it because they never truly think? Or because they never discover the hidden potential inside themselves? Today's story will answer all of these questions. Once upon a time, at a crowded railway station in a large city, there lived a beggar. Every single day, he survived by begging from passengers sitting inside the trains arriving at the station. That railway station had become his entire world. From morning till night, he moved from one train compartment to another, asking strangers for money so he could fill his empty stomach and survive another day. One day, while begging inside a train, the beggar noticed a wealthy businessman sitting near the window. The man was dressed in an expensive suit and looked rich, confident, and successful. Immediately thought, this man must be very wealthy. If I ask him for money, he will surely give me more than everyone else. The beggar quickly walked toward the businessman and stretched out his hand for alms. But instead of giving him money, the wealthy businessman looked directly into his eyes and asked, "Do you always ask people for things? Have you ever given anything to someone in return?" The beggar became confused and replied softly, "Sir, I am only a beggar. I survive by asking people for money. I don't have anything valuable that I could possibly give to others." The businessman calmly replied, "If you cannot give anything to others, then you also have no right to expect things from them. I am a businessman, and I believe in exchange. If you have something to offer me, then I can give you something in return. But if you have nothing to give, then I also cannot give you anything." After saying those words, the businessman boarded the train and left the station. Meanwhile, the beggar sat silently on the platform, deeply thinking about the businessman's words. He had spent his entire life begging from people, but no one had ever spoken to him like that before. The more he thought about those words, the more he realized that the businessman was not insulting him. In fact, he was speaking the truth. The beggar started thinking, if I cannot offer something to people, then how can I expect them to keep giving me money? Maybe this is the reason why people never truly value me. I only ask from them, but I never give anything back. For the very first time in his life, the beggar began questioning his own way of living. But another thought troubled him deeply. Am only a beggar. What can I possibly give to other people? Still, somewhere inside his heart, he felt that he could not continue living his entire life only taking from others without giving something in return. For the next 2 days, The beggar kept thinking about this question. During those 2 days, he barely begged from anyone because his mind was completely occupied with one thought: what can I give people? Then, on the third day, while sitting at the station, he noticed several flower plants blooming beautifully near the other side of the platform. The colorful flowers immediately gave him an idea. What if, he thought, instead of only taking money from people, I give them a flower in return? That simple idea filled him with excitement and hope. He quickly plucked some flowers and carried them with him onto the train. That day, whenever someone gave him money, he handed them a flower in return. To his surprise, people smiled warmly while accepting the flowers. Even thanked him happily. From that day onward, the beggar started bringing fresh flowers every morning. Every passenger who gave him money received a flower in return. Slowly, something unexpected started happening. People began giving him more money than before. As long as he had flowers with him, passengers happily gave him money. But whenever his flowers finished, people stopped paying much attention to him. Day after day, the same thing continued. Then, one day, while moving through a train asking for alms, the beggar suddenly saw the same businessman sitting inside the compartment. The very man whose words had completely changed his thinking. The beggar immediately rushed toward him and said excitedly, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I will give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled and handed him some money. In return, the beggar gave him several flowers. The businessman became impressed by the beggar's intelligence and said, "Very good. Today, you have become a businessman just like me." After saying those words, the businessman stepped off the train and disappeared into the crowd. But once again, his words deeply shook the beggar's mind. "A businessman? Me?" he thought. The beggar kept repeating those words inside his head again and again. He thought deeply for a long time, and suddenly something powerful changed inside him. For the first time in his life, he realized that success might also be possible for him. Until now, he had always seen himself as nothing more than a poor beggar. But today, someone had called him a businessman. The beggar suddenly jumped off the train and shouted loudly toward the sky, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I can become rich too. I can become successful too." People standing around him stared at him as if he had gone mad, but they did not understand that something extraordinary had happened inside him. His identity had changed forever. And the moment a person changes the way they see themselves, their future also begins to change. The very next day, the beggar disappeared completely from the railway station. 6 months later, two well-dressed businessmen happened to meet again at the same railway station. Both of them were wearing expensive suits. They looked at each other and shook hands politely. The first man smiled and asked, "Do you recognize me?" The second man replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man laughed softly and said, "We have actually met twice before on this very train. I am the same beggar whom you once told what I needed to do in life. And during our second meeting, you told me who I really was." The businessman suddenly became shocked and surprised. "Wait, are you that same beggar? The same man whom I once refused to give money to? The same man from whom I bought flowers?" "Yes," the first man replied proudly. "I was that beggar. But today I am one of the biggest flower businessmen in the city. I am now traveling to another town because of my business." The businessman smiled with amazement. After a moment of silence, the former beggar continued speaking. "The lesson you taught me that day was actually one of the greatest laws of life. We receive only when we learn to give something in return. I understood that truth deeply, but even after understanding it, I still continued seeing myself as a beggar. I never imagined myself becoming anything greater. He paused for a moment and continued. But during our second meeting, you called me a businessman. That one sentence completely changed my thinking. I suddenly realized that people were not giving me charity anymore. They were actually buying flowers from me. They were paying for value. My flowers were cheap, beautiful, and meaningful to them. Even though the world saw me as a small flower seller, inside my own mind I was still a beggar. Your words changed my life forever. With the money I had saved, I started buying more flowers. Then I slowly built a real flower business. Today, people love flowers, and their love has made me successful. After finishing their conversation, both men stepped off the train and walked toward. Life becomes what we believe about ourselves. If you think of yourself as weak, small, or helpless, then you will remain trapped in that reality forever. But if you recognize the hidden potential inside yourself, then one day you can achieve greatness beyond imagination. Never underestimate yourself. See yourself as capable, successful, powerful, and worthy. Because the moment you're thinking, your future also begins to change. If you enjoyed this inspirational story, make sure to like the video, share it with others, and comment below about what lesson this story taught you. Thank you for listening, and I will see you again very soon with another powerful motivational story.